Oh, hi. Well,
Hello.
to the cup, the currently unnamed podcast, where despite our somber mood, the tea is still piping hot. We are still ready to spill. Oh boy, are we ready to spill. I'm Logan Murphy, just a gay, here with quite literally piping hot tea. There is piping hot tea in this pancake mug tonight.
We love that. Hello, everyone. I am Lana, your resident diva, trying to keep it together, but always I got my cup. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to drink a spill or whatever it is we're going to do today. Don't come for me because it's a styrofoam cup. If you want to wash my dishes, you can, but I don't feel like it, so styrofoam it is. Yeah. So we're going to talk about some tea.
Yes, definitely. I'm Audrey. I also have a styrofoam cup, so we are in good company tonight.
Yeah.
Good company, but somber hearts, like you guys were saying. I'm so upset by this episode. It had so much potential to be so good. And just
the amount of faking out we got the last 2 days on feeds for this to be the result, disgusting.
It was awful. I almost would have rather just had no excitement on the feeds or anything, because then I just could have better mentally prepared for the outcome. I really was believing the hype. I was really believing the potential blindside, and then it didn't happen. So it made me so upset.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the potential blind side for a second, because for those who haven't watched feeds, this might be some people who don't know what you guys are talking about. And guess what? I'm one of those people because I didn't watch feeds this week, so I have no idea what you're talking about.
So, with the veto looming, so obviously we didn't cover the last episode. We're only doing evictions because we have lives and other things to cover. So. The HOH is Chris Kirkpatrick. He nominated Mariah and Chris Kattan for eviction going into tonight's episode. The idea going into tonight's episode was if Chris Kirkpatrick had the plan that he was going to try to win veto, take Chris Kattan off the block, and blindside Todrick.
Oh, that would have been cute.
It would have been major. It would have been so good.
Incredible. But the only way he was willing to do it was if Mariah was sitting next to Todrick. Because in his mind, for some reason, if it was Kattan and Todrick, he didn't think he would have the votes.
I mean, I think he might be right. Because I feel like Carson and Cynthia would have voted for Todrick, of course. But then, and Mariah, maybe.
Over Kattan? Absolutely, I think. Mariah would have evicted Todrick.
Maybe. But see, this is where I feel like the maybe. Because Mariah also has been close to Chris and Kattan. And she knows Kattan does not want to be there. So I feel like she would maybe do a solid and be like, if Kattan wants to go, I'll let him go. So that's
no one else did tonight.
I mean, but he was still sitting next to Mariah. But if it was Mariah making the vote, I feel like she would be more sentimental and heartstring for his cause. But so maybe, but let's for hypothetical reasons say Mariah voted for Todrick to go. So that's 3 votes for Todrick to go. Lamar, I don't think will vote for Todrick. I don't think Todd Bridges votes for Todrick. We know Misha does not vote for Todrick. And Shane would probably
4-3. It's 4-3 in either direction.
I think it'll be 4-3 for Chris Kattan to go. And so
you're probably right.
And so it'll still be a wasted HOH move for Kattan to still sit on. I understand why he said Chris has to come off the block for this plan to work, because it probably still would have been 4-3. Chris Kattan goes home.
But then Mariah would have been safe, so it would have just made me so happy.
I would have been fine with it, honestly. If it failed, then Kattan's gone. Because, honestly, I know so many people are, obsessed with Chris Kattan. I genuinely don't understand the hype other than him comforting Mariah. Like, I don't understand why people are supporting this man who sleeps most of the day because he can't sleep at night because Todd Bridges snores so damn much.
Well, he won't just change rooms. I don't understand.
I know. I thought about
Someone
that
change
too.
rooms
It's
with
like,
this man.
because I think, hasn't Carson switched rooms? Carson in this episode was in the same room as Todd,
Yeah,
but I
because
thought
that
he
room.
started in the pink room.
I also thought, well,
Yeah.
because he's not aligned with Shayna anymore. I think Shayna and Misha and Todrick kind of invaded the pink room.
Mm.
And so now the back bedroom is Catan, Todd, Carson, and it was Mariah. And then the front was Cynthia, Todrick, and Lamar, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Someone switched with
I was
Catan.
say somebody is a bed is going to open up.
Yeah.
Switch, just leave the room.
Yeah.
Like I just don't understand. If I don't want to sleep in the room because somebody's snoring too loud, then I would just leave the room. But
Right.
in my case, I'm the one that's going to be snoring too loud, so just leave the room.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
Totally.
But yeah. So I get it. So what ended up happening? Thank you for updating me on the blind side that could have possibly happened, but because as we see in this episode, it was not meant to be because several reasons. But let's start at the beginning when they come in and when they're talking about it's right after the nomination ceremony, and they are talking about how Chris is trying to figure out where, trying to go back and I guess see how, Misha and Todrick are doing or feeling about this. Misha, of course, is not happy because Misha has told him over and over and over again she wants him to put up Carson.
Carson, you need to target Carson. Carson is the only threat in this game. Carson, evict Carson Kressley.
This is where I was like, girl.
She's been doing it ever since he won too.
Yeah, and
like,
I
literally every day.
But see, this is where I was impressed with Chris Kirkpatrick for. He was just like, look, I am going. This last week was your HOH, and we did this for your move. We made the moves that you needed to make for your game. This week is my HOH, and I need to make the moves that's going to benefit my game. And I'm like, see, that's how we already know he watches the show. He knows the gist of the show. He knows what needs to happen in this show. So it's like, okay, I was very much like, yes, Chris, tell her, let her know, let Todrick know that this is your HOH and you need to run this HOH that's going to benefit you for the next round, because if you play their game, what's that gonna do for you? You stuck. And Todrick even said it himself, was like, getting rid of Carson is best for my game. So sorry, Chris. Like, no, sorry to you, because Chris Kirkpatrick was not falling for that today for any of their lines.
It will be interesting though because he was pretty vocal, at least throughout the Carsons and the Cynthias and the Shaynas, of his backdoor plan. And so it'll be interesting to see, depending, of course, who wins HOH, how that can come to haunt Mr. Chris Kirkpatrick over here. And honestly, I hope it does. I'm just so bitter about Mariah going home, which again, I get the move that it probably was good for Chris Kirkpatrick for her to go home, because I think, at least based on how they're editing it, it did look like Mariah was more Todrick, Misha centric. Like, she was definitely on their end, which just makes me so sad, because it truly could have been such a dream team of Cynthia, Carson, Mariah, and Shayna. If they would have just stuck together, it would have just been perfect. It would have been so perfect. But I get the move, but I'm still so upset about it.
This episode left me feeling kind of in limbo about everything. Like, I'm sad for Mariah, but I'm not that sad for Mariah, because I feel like once you get to a point in this game where people are just not talking to you, it's really nothing else you could do. You just need to cut your loss to be like, babe, it's time for me to go. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna be sad because these people actually don't want me here. And guess what? I don't want to be nowhere where I'm not wanted. So
Right.
I'm gonna go. And I think Mariah came to that conclusion and tonight and was just like, it is what it is. She had an uphill battle, especially like we were talking about being the youngest in the cast. She thinks 7 years was the closest person closest the age to her was 7 years
The
difference.
next like person, yeah, age wise, I think is Todrick,
Yeah, and
and it's
so
7 years apart.
and and that's a lot. That's a lot to deal with. You don't have, like, I know it's with me playing games with, I'm 43 years old, and so sometimes playing games with 20 something year olds is difficult because they talk about stuff I don't really care anything about. So I'm just like, I'll just smile and bear it for a while. But after a while, you can only smile and bear it for so long. And it's like, I don't really care.
TikTok, am I right?
I mean, I like TikTok.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely think I definitely agree with everything that you're saying, because they just, especially with how they were acting once she did actually leave the house, it
Mhm.
was clear that to them she just like was a non-factor to them at that point. No one was going to utilize her how she could have been utilized as someone on their team. And
Mhm.
so I just hope that she is greeted with lots of love by her loved ones when she leaves the house, and just knows that, because they kept saying that she was not like, I don't know exact wording, but basically that she wasn't like emotionally equipped for the game. But it's
Mhm.
like, but who is? Who is
Well, and
legitimately emotionally equipped for this? Like, it is so hard to know exactly the emotions you're going to feel. And so for someone to have, if they always kept alluding to a breakdown that she had pre live feeds. And so of course we didn't see that, we never saw anything like that, but I just think it's so cruel to keep using that against her if she has at least what we've seen bounced back from that.
well, and that's not even a thing that, like, the person that originated that comment was the accountability coach, Teddy Mellencamp. Because all of the last week, Teddy was telling Mariah to her face, "You're just not emotionally equipped for this game. You're just not." And I'm like, "I'm sorry, that's emotional blackmail.
Totally.
Point blank period." Like, that's how I see it. And so like and so everyone, now that Teddy's gone, everyone's like, "Yeah, she's just not emotionally ready. She's like not emotionally there. She's just like not like, she's allowed to feel her emotions in whatever way she wants to feel her emotions. And because you don't feel your emotions in the same way, nor can you understand the way that she's dealing with her emotions, you automatically write her off like a non-factor and isolate her.
Oh, it was rough.
It's bullshit. And then all of them on her way out talking, "Oh, you're such a good person, Mariah. Oh, you're so lovely. I'm so sorry you're leaving." Bullshit. No, you're not. You didn't do anything to try to get to know her.
Right.
The only people that tried to get to know her were Catan and Lamar. And otherwise, being the only person that looks like her in this house and being the only person around her age in this house, like, she's gonna struggle. And honestly, I'm really happy that she's out of that environment so she doesn't have to deal with that, despite how much she wanted to be there. Clearly, we'll talk about eviction speeches. Like,
Yeah. It's definitely like a what is it, a double-edged sword of again, like, I loved her and I wanted her to do so well, but like both of you are saying, I think definitely the environment was not uh supportive of her.
Mhm.
yeah.
Let me just say, and this is probably me. I don't know if you disagree. Feel free to say that, or if you disagree with what I'm saying, feel free to comment. But I'm going to say it anyway because I just feel this way. If this was an irregular season of Big Brother and this was happening to somebody who we did not know as a celebrity of any type, of any way, or any kind, or any shape or form, the outrage would be a little less minimal because, like, we saw this happen. We've seen this happen before in other seasons of Big Brother. Well, we because the only reason this is so big for a lot of people is because we're emotionally attached to these celebrities because we've seen them before. We like them. We're fans of them. We appreciate them. But a regular Joe Schmo, regular chick dude who comes into the Big Brother house, who has emotional issues, if we don't like them, we like, suck it up, bruh. Get your life together, girl. You can't handle the Big Brother house. You shouldn't have signed up. We quick to throw out that when we don't like somebody, but the second we do like somebody, we're like, oh my God, I can't believe they're doing this to them. This is so wrong. How dare you? Like, don't isolate them. But if it was Jackson Mitchie in the process and they were isolating him, we were like, yes, y'all better get him. You don't need to do this. Do that.
I mean, Mickey's not the right example because he's a horrible human.
Look, anybody who walks into that Big Brother house has the same issue. So it's like you have to give them. They have to be able to handle the good, the bad, and the freaking disgusting. And yes, Mariah went through some disgusting moments in this time, but this is the game. This is what she signed up to play. And I'm going to talk about this game. Like, emotionally, I'm going to take emotions out for a second. Emotions are gone. It was a good move for her to go.
Agreed.
For Chris Kirkpatrick to put her up. He never talked to him about game. She never tried to get to know him. They had personal altercations throughout the house, apparently. So it made sense for him to put her up. It made sense for him to want to target her. It made sense for Misha and Todrick to want to go against that because Misha made this big grand deal with Mariah just prior to, but Chris wasn't included in that deal, although they want to say it was for the team. If she had to go against somebody on the team, who was going to be the first person she was going for? So all of this was like, the game-wise, I'm like, I wish she could suck it up. I wish she would have been able to suck it up and been able to just, you know what? Y'all don't want to talk to me? Fine. Don't talk to me. I'll talk to whoever want to talk to me, but I will fight. I would have made them talk to me. Like, I'm on the block. This is my time to make you get to know me. I don't have, I can't afford to sit around and wait for you to come to me because I have 2 days to get it together. Like, this is a shortened season. So they got HOH on Friday or Saturday. And then nominations on Sunday and they getting out Monday. Like, you don't have time. You don't have time to sit around and cry and be mad because you on the block for the second week in a row. It's like, you know what? Now it's time for me to play this game. I'm going to everybody in that house and like, this is what's happening here. I'm telling you my story. I'm getting for you to know me. Let me pull at your heartstrings for I got a couple of days to get it done. And I'm going to do it. She didn't do it. She sat in the room and she cried and she got mad and she let them isolate her. You don't let people isolate you in the game if you really want to play. That's my point. She keep talking about how much she wanted to play, but she didn't fight like she wanted to play. You talk to people, but she wasn't fighting. She was just talking. I'm just like, girl, you got to go out and do what you got to do if you really want to stay. She was defeated and she gave up, in my opinion. Now, people might not agree with that, and that's fine. You have your right to agree or disagree with me. But she just didn't fight. And then sitting next to someone who was asking to go home and they still didn't, proves to me you didn't fight hard enough. Yeah. You couldn't even get one vote. You didn't fight.
Oh, yeah.
That's my opinion, though, but I'll be quiet.
No, I definitely see that. I think it's definitely clear that she was definitely very defeated. I think once she was on the block for sure, kind of, and again, I'm so pissed that they didn't show us feeds for like the first 9 days or however long it was. I think that
Mm-hmm.
would make it so much easier to kind of know a lot more of the like lead up, a lot more of how the relationships were formed,
Yeah.
because we're really just playing catch up at this point. But yeah, ever since they turned on, there was like this air of defeat for sure. So yeah, it was a perfect storm for her demise. It was, yeah, the perfect storm.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
just I don't, I'm not trying to be like cold or heartless or anything. I just feel
Totally.
like this is the game. You're there to play, and especially because she knows the game. She said herself, she watched it. She knows the game. If you know the game, and I'm sure it's different once you're in the game and you're there in the house. Being somebody who played I only play online games, so I ain't never been to a live game, so I know it's different. Audrey, you played a live game, so once you get there, it's different from how
For
you
sure.
normally would see it. So I get it, but I'm like, you want me to feel bad, which I do, because I really liked her. I really did genuinely like her, and I wanted her to go farther. But like, she didn't win competitions, but I thought she was going to win. Like, I thought she was going to hang on that thing for dear life. I thought she wasn't letting that go, but her foot slipped and she had one champagne bottle. It happens, but she didn't win vetoes. She didn't like, you were in the veto competition twice. You didn't win them, so
In
you
that
had
veto
to.
competition, I will say it seemed easy. I maybe saw the marry me twice. I was like, I would have done
I
so bad at this.
I got all of them but the last one.
I got two of them because I can't see. So like that for me would have been my
Yeah.
nightmare. That would have been my nightmare. Like I hate Where's Waldo's. I hate
Oh,
all that.
so
So
bad.
those would have.
I I have this weird talent of like being able to scan images very quickly and like notice certain things. Like if there's a pattern, like the marry me symbol, if I look at an image, like I found like in the time that they were allotted, I found all of them except for the last one. And the last one I remembered I had like glossed over and thought, oh, that's not it, but it was. Um so like that's just a comp that like I would do well in. Yeah, Lana, I don't know how you would have fared, my love. Um,
Oh no, I would have been Chris Kirkpatrick in that round. I would have been
okay,
the Chris,
we need to talk about Mr. Chris Kirkpatrick because he
but
threw that comp point blank. Period.
I don't think he threw it.
I think he did because he was smiling through the whole thing.
Oh, I wasn't paying that much attention. I was in Applebee's at the
He was
time. So.
every time he put up his thing, he was like,
It was like too much acting. He was like, oh, like, because there was a part where I was like, maybe he is
what?
trying, but then he was laying it on too thick with kind of how he was doing bad. And so
Yeah.
that's why I do kind of, and again, they turn off feeds like right before, so maybe they had a conversation, but I
Mhm,
do understand if Shayna obviously she wins the veto, but
mhm,
I can understand her not using it with this
mhm.
plan that they were
No.
concocting, because if he did so badly, it's like it just sends red flags to her of being like, wait,
Mhm.
why aren't you wanting to get blood on your hands? Like, I understand her point of view for sure.
I
Yeah.
definitely wouldn't. But I think maybe they had. See, this is the thing. Maybe they had the conversation was like maybe Tajik, but then at the last minute it was like, nah. If I win, because I don't think even if he won it, he wouldn't have used it. I don't think he would have used it either. I
Yeah.
think because we coming up with plans is one thing, but executing those plans is a whole different beast. And I feel like the way if he was throwing it, like I said, I was in Applebee's at the time, so I wasn't paying that much close attention, but I was watching it, and so I didn't notice that he was, smiling and throughout the whole competition. But like, if even if he did win it, I don't think it would have made sense for him to use it. It would have made no sense because it's like now you got Misha and Todrick upset with you, or if Todrick goes up and Todrick stays, which probably would have happened.
Yeah.
Or I don't know.
I think the difficulty is that there's so many wild card factors,
Mm-hmm.
because you really truly don't know what Todd, Catan, or Lamar are going to do on any given day.
Exactly.
So honestly, I hope whoever wins HOH just takes one of them out, because I don't want to see them skate by and the actual game players like go out like back to back to back early.
Um,
I honestly hope that the three of them just like link arms and are like, we're done, and just walk out the front door. Because
Honestly,
I'm just
I
like,
would
I don't even
love
want to waste.
that.
I don't even want to waste the time. That would be more iconic for them to just be like, bye y'all, we had a great ride. Let's go
Chris
together.
Catan would never do anything with Todd, so Catan would leave, and then Lamar and Todd would go together.
Yeah, totally.
okay, am I
So
the only one alone here? I want Lamar to win this whole thing. I,
okay, he lost me when he called her Julia Chang. He lost me. That was on
I didn't
feeds a
see
few
that.
days ago.
Oh, okay.
It was on feeds a few days ago. He literally called Julia Chang, and I
mm-hmm.
was like, "You've got to be joking. You've got." They
Look,
say Julie every time they see Julie. Like,
look. You don't know that man's life. Drugs is a hell of a thing. It messes with your brain. That man
yeah.
went through drugs and strokes and everything. His
And
memory is not as
uh I
whipped.
I also want to say that was like a really emotional part of the episode where he's talking about how he had a dream talking to
His son.
his
Mm-hmm.
son who has passed. Like
Mm-hmm.
that was a lot.
It was very well. See, and this is and I think maybe that's why I want Lamar to win this thing. I feel like the fact that he knows nothing about this game, the fact that he is literally just like, what? The losers get to vote what the winner? That's stupid. Like, I find that so endearing to me. And I'm like, with the way this cast is set up and the way that everybody is getting on my nerves, I want either somebody like Lamar who could care less, who is just gonna try their dangest, and if it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. Don't cry for me. It's not a funeral. She's still alive. Like, I want that kind of energy. Or I want somebody who's like a Shayna Mokler, who is actually trying to play the game, who is trying to, make moves and be strategic about things. Her to, for I want the contrast. I don't want nobody in the middle. I don't want nobody who's the social
Totally.
butterfly. Just Carson just going around. I know everybody. I know everybody. We're all great. I want you to strategize. I want you either to strategize, play the game, win stuff, do stuff. You know what I'm saying? Make moves, make
Well,
plans. Or you just do nothing and you have absolutely no idea and you fly by the seat of your pants and it just happens to work out for you.
I'm at the point now where I'm kind of like anyone other than Todrick or Misha, and I'd be happy. And like for me, the thing is like with Carson, I can't even put Carson in the middle now because like he won a veto and took himself off the block. Like he's playing the way that he thinks he needs to play this game. And is it like 100% correct? No, but like he's doing what he thinks is advantageous for him, and I would agree Lamar is doing something, but that's advantageous to him. And like I don't know. It's upsetting to me that a lot of these celebrity like did they not watch season 1 or 2? Like did they not realize that how many of these people are alternates at this point? That's kind of my running question is like how many of these people were asked like 2 days before move-in?
Well, I think I tweeted like right before the season started. I think that they need to put a non-celebrity in the house every season for Celebrity Big Brother and just have that person like pretend to be a celebrity because
I
I
would
don't
love
know,
that.
it just creates more, I don't know, contrast or something because really when three of the people, it's funny I think when one person is just like so clueless and just so delusional, but when multiple people are like, listen, I'm kind of done, like it's like
4
what,
at this point.
who's the fourth? I know Todd, Lamar,
Chris.
Chris.
Who is the 4th?
There is no fourth. I think that's it.
3.
3, yes. Back to
3.
3.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know. They just need something to spice up the season at this point. I think it's good for me that Mirai is gone, just because it takes the emotion out of it for me. Now I can be a little bit more like, because we all have that person like each season that we just like really connect with. We're like, we have that emotional like whatever with. That was Mirai for me this season. Luckily, last Big Brother 23, I just liked so many people that it was like, it was a little easier to deal with each elimination for sure. But I think now that Mirai's gone, I can look at it with a more level head and just be like, okay, let's see some really good blindsides. Like, let's see like actual gameplay here. But I just need those 3 to just leave and walk out of the house, I think, because I'm just over it. I'm over the I think the Chris Kattan speech, though, for his eviction, like, it was cute. It was endearing of him being like, she really wants to be here.
I'm
like,
ready to move on.
Yes.
Like, no, on that sort of similar vein, what I think would be really cool, because I would, based on the franchise that you choose from, I would call them a celebrity. I think it would be really cool if they brought in a Big Brother from another franchise.
Oh, yeah.
Like, hell, honest to God, bring in Ika Wong. Like, that's a celebrity right there. Bring in, like, kind of what BB Can 4 did with Tim and Nikki. Rest in power, Nikki. I wish Nikki was around, honestly, because Nikki Graham in this house would be incredible. Like, bring someone from, like, Australian Big Brother. Like, even if they're
or
not,
even
like, a
challenger. Or even bring someone from the challenge, even that's like, I don't know. They need someone who has like, or maybe a few. I think if they bring just one person from like the challenge or the Big Brother, then it could very quickly become like they're just running the whole thing and there's no push and pull. But just bringing people who are completely clueless, it's not working. I'm like, we need to figure out a different method for this, because I don't know.
What I don't understand, because like last season was such a good season. The last Celebrity Big Brother was such a good season. Even with, I mean, we really didn't have people. Well, you know,
we had it was a good mix of people that hadn't watched but were still interested in like learning the game, and people who were fans.
Exactly. And so, and nobody really wanted to quit. Nobody was like, "Oh, just send me home already." You know,
no one's breast milk was depleted, so that was a big factor.
I gotta say, you know, we can't help the breast milk being depleted.
Yeah, so we sure can't.
And you know, and Meta World Peace is just Meta World Peace.
Honestly, I'm going to attribute a lot of the fun of season 2, honestly, to Tamar Braxton and Candy Burris, because I think the two of them kind of brought everybody else into this like upper echelon. Like, they were able to get Lolo engaged. They were able to get Natalie Eva Marie engaged. Tom Green was just Tom Green. Like the whole
like, there's nobody on this show right now who's going to bring people up to that level of drama that you want to see in Big Brother. Like, Tamar was there, willing and ready to bring you what needed to be brought. And then Candy was like, that real life issue that they had only brought it more. And then you put that on top of Lolo thinking that, you know, she's an athlete. She's great.
Wild.
And it's just like, and it was just gold. It was gold. It was gold. And you need somebody on that show who is not afraid to just be like, come on.
And you know who would, and there's 2 people that were rumored in the preseason, and one of them I love, and one of them I don't love, but I think both of them would have brought it. If you put Shangela and Johnny Bananas in this Big Brother house, we would be getting a phenomenal season out of everybody.
I feel as if they missed the boat by not bringing in, like you said, people from the challenge. I think since Viacom has become, and Paramount has become so close knit and they own, like, you can call these people, and just like they have Big Brother people on the challenge, bring a couple of challenge
Yep.
people over, and they not just for the physical competition, because it's not all physical in Big Brother. So they would have to adjust their
Right.
gameplay. They would have to figure out, you know, they have their own version of politicking in the challenge, but it's a whole nother level when it's in the age of when one person is in charge of
Yeah.
your fate instead of the group decide, you know.
Yeah,
Totally.
because even though this is a sped up format of Big Brother,
Mhm.
imagine Johnny Bananas in a slower paced game.
Mhm.
Like imagine Wes in a slower paced game.
Exactly.
Anissa would be phenomenal on Big Brother. Like, or
I-
even like
Or
Survivor
Cam.
people.
Cam would be.
Oh my
I think,
God.
so good.
If
But
Cam
obviously-
wasn't pregnant,
yeah, I was
wasn't
gonna say,
pregnant,
oh,
I think we lost
Like,
out on a
so
lot of
good.
fabulous choices because a lot of people that we wanted to see were pregnant.
yeah,
Like that's
or just had
honestly like
babies.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ah,
I
Well,
feel
and
like
on that Viacom Paramount note as well, like again, I'm gonna say it. I'm
Drag
surprised no
Race.
one from Drag Race is on.
I mean, they have judges and other people from Drag Race, but no Drag Race contestants.
I thought Todrick would have brought the drama, and he's literally like attached himself at the vagina with
Yeah.
fucking Misha Tate, and I'm
Yeah.
like, what?
It was so much like, and I do agree. I feel like they should bring in. I think once somebody becomes like Big Brother celebrity status, because there's people who are Big Brother celebrity status, like bring in somebody from and see how they play in a quicker paced game. Where they only got 2 days to strategize and, you know, or try to fight their way off a block. And then you got these people, celebrities, who go look at them like, you ain't no real celebrity. So there's a dynamic, there's a push, there's a pull. I like they could have done this and just offer Big Brother celebrities the same amount of money you offering these real celebrities. They'll be there. They'll be there because it's more money than they will ever get in any other regular season of a show.
Ika Wong. I'm saying.
so good.
I mean, yeah. I feel. Oh my gosh! I think that would be like the best thing ever is to get like an Ika Wong or
Yep.
I'm sure she's probably would never do it again, but like a Davon coming in the house again on Celebrity Big Brother, or a Brittany or Janelle or
even like Andrea Belke, like cause she, you know,
Absolutely.
she goes with the hosting on. I mean, she's on Good Morning America sometimes. Like she's
Yeah.
definitely at least at the levels of the people in this house. So it's like
No, she has a full like broadcast media career.
Yeah.
Beyond just being one of my personal favorite survivors of all time.
Totally.
But like even hell, I'll take Boston Rob. I don't like the guy, but I think he would have made it entertaining.
Wendell Holland, Wendell's on HGTV, like
Wendell, Boston Rob, hell, put Sandra in the house. I'd love to see it. Like speaking of, go check out our Australian Survivor Week 1 review that Lana and I did. That it went up live a few hours ago. It's 2 hours of fun.
2 hours of fun.
But like a Sandra, a Parvati. Oh, could you imagine Parv in this? Like even Amanda, Todd. The list goes on and on. Like
we're like anyone else but the people in
anyone else but the people in this house.
You know what? Oh my gosh! Just speaking about all of this, CBS, listen to me. Hear me out. If you don't want to do, if you want to do Celebrity Big Brother, but you don't want to bring back the people we just mentioned, how about this? Hear me out. Next season, Celebrity Big Brother will be a reality show throwdown kind of Big Brother. Bring in everybody from all different reality shows. Bring them in and do Big Brother. Let them play the game And I think it'll be amazing. You can have some drag race people, you can have some amazing race people, Survivor, other big brothers from all over the world, survivors from all over the world.
Honest, and to throw in chaos, honestly, add in Love Island, add in Are You the One, add in like Too Hot to Handle, The Circle.
Yeah, the Circle, Too Hot to Handle.
Could you imagine
Love is Blind?
Could you imagine Delisa in a Big Brother house? I would love to see it.
Yes, I can imagine it. I can imagine. I can see it. I feel like this will be the greatest thing you could do, and it will cut down your costs because they're still just reality superstars, so they're not like going to take celebrity, money and all that stuff. But they're still trying to, wanting to get out there, so they'll be willing to jump in there and do that. So bring in some challenge folks and bring in some Are You the Ones and Love is Blind and The Circle and all. And watch the chaos ensued, but you still make them play Big Brother.
Right.
Yeah. That's the thing.
Because they did that for Amazing Race, and I thought it was
amazing. Amazing Race did it. Amazing Race did it, and it was incredible.
Yeah. It was incredible, and I feel like you could do that if you just. It would be so much fun, and it could probably be even a little longer because these people ain't gonna demand that they got to be out in 2 weeks.
And we actually just know who they are too, because with Celebrity Big Brother, like obviously we are aware that they're not going to get the A-list celebrities, and so we just don't always know who they are. But I feel like most of the time, if you watch one CBS show, you watch all of them, at least within like the triad of Big Brother, Survivor, Amazing Race. Like you at least watch 2 of the 3. If you don't watch all 3. And so we would just know the people more. There's obviously like continued drama because so many people just keep coming back. It's just so intertwined. That is what they need to focus on. Celebrity Big Brother, I think, needs to just die fully. I think it just needs to die. They need to stick to what they know. And that's within the CBS franchise. Like maybe throw in one every now and again.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's
they have so much access to Viacom now. Like, this could be incredible.
I mean, even if, like, you don't have to kill off Celebrity Big Brother, fine. Don't kill it off. But take a few seasons where we're not in COVID, so you're not trying to drag in whomever you can get. Make sure you can get a full cast when you do next time you do Celebrity Big Brother. And make sure it's a cast of people who are entertaining and who is going to live up to the hype of Celebrity Big Brother. Because, I mean, you started off season 1 with freaking Omarosa. Like, what? You brought drama with drama from the second she walked in the door. And then you added a Brandy Glanville on top of that. So it's like, what? Freak. So that was already made drama. Then you followed up season 2 with Tamar and Candy, and they just brought in more drama, and it was fabulous. And this season, you give us nothing. You give us nothing because we can't get the cast together because it's COVID, and people are either they don't want to be vaxxed or they are scared that people aren't vaxxed, or it's just too much to get vaxxed or come over. It's just a lot. So I feel like this season has been rushed, and it's showing how rushed it has been. And we're getting a very blasé season because of it. But other than that, you have the resources with Viacom. You have the resources with Viacom to make a really great show of all Viacom people. Even if it's just Viacom, that's still great because there's some amazing people in this world, this realm that you all have, and they could just make a great Big Brother show. Make them play Big Brother, but bring them out from all the other games they play. Like Survivor is nothing like Big Brother, so those Survivor people are going to have to figure it out. The challenge is not like Big Brother, so the challenge people are going to have to figure it out. And then you bring in Big Brother people who know Big Brother, and they have to try to navigate not getting put out because they are already the targets number 1, 2, and 3. You know, they got
Could you imagine like Parvati, Cam, and Delisa on the same season of a reality show?
So good. It'd be literally chef's kiss.
Cam,
so good.
Cam and Sandra in the same room. Like, hello. Like,
This is what we could have. This is what we could have if they had someone
But
who was
instead we have-
relatable in the casting room.
But instead, we have Carson sitting in a bathtub for 5 hours yesterday. That was entertaining. I'm not going to lie to you. I saw the screenshots on Twitter. Like, that was entertaining enough. I was like, okay, sure, this is fine. But yes, I think we're almost done. But yes, goodbye, Mirai. I'm glad you're out of there so you don't have to worry anymore.
Yes.
HOH, I don't know what's happening. Do I really care anymore? Not really.
I need a Carson or a Cynthia or even Shayna HOH. I think that would be the most, it would give us the most. I swear to God, if fucking Misha gets this again, I think that's when I call it quits. I'm like, I can't do this anymore.
I know a lot of people were on board with this, for this most recent HOH. I've converted. I'm rooting for a Chris Kattan HOH. I want a Chris Kattan HOH. Because it's Todd and somebody. And I don't know who that somebody is going to be on the block. But I want to see who it is.
I want a Lamar HOH. I want
Lamar
to see
would be great
Lamar too. Because we have no clue what he's going to do. And
he would probably try to put himself on the block.
I would love
Honestly,
to
though. This is where it could come true. The 3 people. Lamar wins HOH, puts up Chris Kattan and Todd, and then they say, honestly, y'all, let's leave. Let's get out of here. And that is how it's happened. That's going to be how it happens.
I would cry.
It's the start.
How many would that leave us with? 6? Yeah, because there's 9 right now, so there would be 6. You know what? I'm here for it. At this point, I don't even care about the strategy or whatever. Like, I'm here for the chaos now.
I need chaos. I need delusion. I need it all.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I want it to be.
When does Survivor start? Survivor March
21st.
March 9th.
March 9th.
In the meantime, tune into Australian Survivor and then tune into our review of Australian Survivor, Blood versus Water.
Wait, what? Is Blood versus Water?
It's Blood versus Water, Lana.
Wait. I didn't know it was Blood versus Water.
You know,
I don't think they mentioned that it was Blood
versus Water. Well, no, because the host mentions it 50 times an episode.
No, I don't think he mentioned it at all.
Really?
I
heard it a few times.
I don't think I heard him mention it. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. He mentions it 8 million times.
That's not an exaggeration. It's probably 8 million.
Oh, God, it's the worst. But, yes, please watch it because it's a great show. It's turned out to be a really good season, and I enjoyed watching it. So, yeah. But, yeah, we don't know what the HOH is going to bring. We don't know who's going to get it. We don't know what's going to happen. And
feeds aren't even back yet, so...
I'm gonna go to sleep and then wake up in the morning for somebody to tell me who won HOH. That'll be great.
Yep.
Because I don't care enough to stick around to wait for the feeds to come back. Not tonight, everybody. But yeah, the episode was how we felt. It was somber. It was blah. It was meh. Hopefully, the further we get along in this season, the drama will come out. But right now, they're not giving us anything that I need.
There's only 2 weeks left. So.
They gotta ramp it up quick.
Yep. Oh, this is so sad.
Can we get a flyover? Like, can someone pay for a plane to just be like, target Todrick? Like, something, please. Wall yellers, where are y'all at? I know some wall yellers in LA that have done it. Y'all go,
I'll be in LA next week. We'll make it happen.
Go yell at them, Audrey. Just yell at somebody. Tell them to get out anybody, whoever. I don't even care who it is. You can just
yell. Don't say words. Just yell.
God.
And like, just, because it's awful. Like, nothing is happening that is not, like, I guess, maybe I'm not watching the feeds enough, but like I guess the potential blindside was the most.
That's the most action we've had on the live feeds from what we've had.
That's kind of sad.
Otherwise, it's Misha and Todrick still obsessing over Carson.
That really needs to let go. They really need to let that go. For real.
They're not going to until
No, they're
either they're
not.
gone or he's gone. So,
Can I be honest? I want Misha out next.
Me too.
Please.
Let's
Please.
just. I really want her. I want Misha out next, or I want Todrick out next,
Mhm.
and that will make me happy. So if that's where we're at this point on Friday, please be ready to see a whole nother side of me because I will not be somber. I will be very happy if Misha or Todrick is gone.
Honestly, my ideal boot odor at this point is Misha, Todrick, some combination of the 3 non-factor men, and then the final 4 is Kirk, Shayna, Carson, and Cynthia.
Yep.
Honestly,
Honestly,
one of them has to make finale night because then there's a 5th. Lamar can make finale night. That's fine.
Okay, fine,
There we
great.
go. There we go.
And then we and then let them fight it out at the end. I don't really at that point. I don't even care anymore who wins.
Same.
I just need Misha and Todrick out of this house for me.
Too.
But that's it. I think that's all.
That's what we think.
We
got a lot of opinions tonight.
we got nothing else. So
Audrey, thanks for joining us for Big Brother. You're checking off all of the show.
Honestly, it's such a pleasure. Thank you for always having me.
We'll see you for Survivor Australia soon.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Period.
Yes. With that, my loves, cheers, and let's go sleep because I'm done with today.
Yeah, cheers. I lost my cup along the
way. Cheers. Woo.
Well,
goodbye. This episode was horrible. Bye.
I'm going to bed
We're
now.
leaving. Bye.
So